trouble. We're just curious who the occupants of the home are, because there's, well, sections,
First of all,
there's connections. We're not in trouble. We're just...
I'm not sure. Audio off, please. Thank you. I'm not sure if you're not trespassing by standing on a sidewalk. You do this all the time, actually.
And by the way, myself and Joel Gilbert and other researchers have very, very good work in this case. Visited her residence in Brooklyn, Virginia, on Sunday. Took video, and it's going to be out. He's going to have it out by tomorrow or today. We went to the property. We examined we went to the scene of the crime, actually. And we examined, in addition, I've examined Con Edison documents that show 5 electrical services or 5 units, and of course you have the certificate of occupancy. The evidence speaks for itself. And she's trying to say, well, there's always 4. The governing document is any competent is going to tell you is a certificate of occupancy. And every single, she wants to say, well, it's an accident, it's a mistake. Oh, okay, give back all the money you saved from the mortgage companies. Okay, because of the false underwriting that you took out. You're in default on every single one of those, every single outstanding mortgage today, she's in default on because it contains material omissions.
Just really quickly here, Sam, how quick is the procedure? Should we expect the handcuffs that we've seen on various high-ranking Democrat officials across the country happening last week? Do we expect that? I mean, will we actually get the handcuff on?
I don't know what will happen. I can't predict the future. But all I can say is whether or not they handcuff her, she's guilty. The evidence shows that she's guilty. Most likely they are going to handcuff her. And most likely they are going to arrest her. And most likely they are going to indict her. But irrespective of that, the documentation speaks for itself. And if they can't bring a case against them, shame on them. They suffer the humiliation. I stand behind all of the research that I've done, and all of the research that I've done shows that she's guilty of mortgage fraud, violating New York State financial disclosure statutes, mail fraud, wire fraud, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a lawyer, but she is guilty. She is guilty of signing documents that contain false information that she financially benefited from, and she can't get out of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you want actual truth on this, and from somebody who really understands this issue, and we're not exactly sure why Sam is so obsessed with this, but it's fascinating, and he is rock solid here, and I hope they call him as a witness, quite frankly. You gotta go follow Sam. He's just the best on this. He's gone completely viral, and he's got the receipts. 57,000 Americans already follow Sam Antar, and you should be one of them. Thank you, Sam, for fighting for me. This is just great. You're golden. Golden.
Thank you. One day I hope to be as popular as you are.
We hope to be as good at investigating corrupt Democrat officials.
Let me just say this quick thing, okay? I didn't target Letitia James.
Yeah.
I didn't look for her. I didn't go after her because her tit for tat with Donald Trump, which I really don't give a shit. The reason that I went and examined Letitia James is for quite a while I've been examining financial disclosures of New York State and New York City politicians. I ventured upon her, and that's one of the big red flags. This was not something I looked for specifically. This is part of an ongoing process that I involved myself in. I've been doing this for 30 years after the Crazy Eddies. After I pleaded guilty in the Crazy Eddie case, I worked with government agencies, FBI, IRS, DOJ, you name it, I've pretty much worked with.
Oh my God, these roads! To this state.
Any updates here?
Where's the fucking road you're left?
We've got an itch on handcuffs, so thank you. So thanks.
bad, but yes, let's continue giving millions of dollars to illegal immigrants. That makes sense. Well, we have this to drive
I'll
down.
be so bored. Right? Now the house, we'll be so bored, right? You know, that eventually there won't be a Trump presidency. I'm saying he might run for a third term this weekend again. So we'll be talking about that. Let's get some official recipes. But first, caffeine is what we eat in the mornings. It fills our cup. It's right here. Blackout Coffee, as you know, has been our long-time partner on this program for our caffeine needs. That's not only because they have this amazing coffee, which is the most important thing, but also it's coffee that supports your worldview. It's with hard work, written in America. It's damn good coffee. It's made right here in this country. 30 hard-working Americans ship this sucker right from Florida.
Oh, Valentina's good. She's in the most comfortable place in the van. She's sitting in the middle right here.
Right? You got to get going, especially after a long weekend. So, ladies and gentlemen, go and get yourself some premium, small batch, roasted coffee made right here in America. Out there, and if you want American values, you should go to blackoutcoffee.com/Ben. Go down with 30% off your first order.
Oh my god. God forbid I have phone service. Anytime I think I figured it out. Every time I drive through a nice looking place, I just don't have any phone
Joining
service.
me right now to go completely blackout on some of the fake polls that are out there right now on Donald Trump is Mark Mitchell of Rasmussen Report. Let's go. Mark, what up, man? Always an honor. And Trump third term. Whoa. Okay, some people would say that's not going to happen because Trump's too unpopular. Look at all these polls. These are sectarians. Such a horror. Things are going horribly. And then I talk with MAGA and I check the chat on this show, for instance. And people don't think things are going horribly. People love what's happening. Your polling is out proving that anecdotal contention is correct.
Well, I've been saying this for weeks now, right direction. That's the number to watch, not Trump approval. But I wake up every day and there's another PSYOP. And today the PSYOP is for Donald Trump's 100-day anniversary of his inauguration. They're trying to paint the narrative that he's unpopular. And, he's doing fine. This is what people voted for. We asked Americans, is this what you voted for? Literally, today marks 32 consecutive weeks of right direction at 42% or higher. The biggest record before has been 7 weeks in a row in all of our 20 years of polling. And so people are looking at this and saying, I expected a little bit of chaos. Trump's chaotic. I'm happy with the direction. And so they're trying every trick in the book. Again, if you look at real clear politics, all of the mainstream media, like network, cable, TV news, pollster types, they just dropped turds this morning, like their first double-digit on.
Hey, you gotta move back on your bed, okay? Come on, go. Come on your bed. Good girl. Thank you. You're sliding up under my gas pedal. Love not having phone service for the entire fucking drive.
Just to drive headlines that he's
Fucking fantastic ride.
So, is it just going right back to 2024? Is it going right back to 2020? Is it just we gotta start the machine all over again and produce fake poll results?
It feels like August, September. It feels exactly what happened. It's we got a new entrant into the race, Kamala Harris. Let's see how the polling's going to do. And my numbers tightened a little bit, went from Trump +5 down to about Trump +2, and my numbers stopped there, and everybody else just kept going. And so that's exactly what's happening here. If you look at, we had Trump underwater at 5 points. We had him above water last week. It's going to fluctuate, I think, around +or -2. But everybody was with me. They were with me 2 or 3 months ago, saying that Donald Trump came in the low to mid 50s, and this is exactly what they're doing. My numbers stopped, and there's a keep on going left. And of course, the mainstream media on top of that is going to be this information gatekeeping there. if you look at, like, for instance, Quinnipiac, was the last one they had was -12. A month ago, Quinnipiac was -12 then, and guess what? That was the headline. They used Quinnipiac. Well, their numbers haven't moved, and so now it's they're going to use Reuters. They're going to use ABC Washington, but -13, -12, -14. You got them up there. Those are all new. They all dropped over the weekend. I joked about it on Twitter. I wonder if they're slapping each other on the butts and saying good game after this coordinated dump of polling. I think that's probably what it is.
The van is just making things sound worse than they are. Where I bolted in the wood rivets into the ceiling yesterday, it essentially like put strain on that rivet to where the roof has like a millimeter of, I don't know what you call it, like space in between the spray foam of that rivet. So it's just vibrating back and forth. So I'm gonna have to spray foam under the rivet later to get it to not vibrate like that. But it's because of the wood is now stretching out that metal where that typically would bend with the roof.
Really much worth of power, and so all they have is their mouthpieces just drone away, trying to undermine the anti-establishment candidate.
This is remarkable. So the green is Bush, the yellow is Obama, the blue is Trump, and the red is Biden. This falls right up the corner of Afghanistan. Right after Afghanistan, it's like they shut down all YouTube channels. So this is very interesting.
Well, I think what happened is there was this binary gut check decision where everybody in America was like, oh, Joe Biden sucks, so they don't really need to Google it anymore. But I think also probably the media wasn't driving traffic, trying to convince people that he was popular. They just sort of gave it up. But just look at their overall value, though. I mean, when he was sworn into office, it really at no point were people more interested in Biden approval than they were in Trump approval during Trump 1. It really never got there. And so all of a sudden, Trump gets into office. All of a sudden, all the levers of power are threatening him, and everybody's searching for Trump approval. And it's because they're seeing scummy headlines, and they're trying to check the mainstream media information that's getting pushed down their throats.
And then it's just a self-looking ice cream company that publish a great poll, and go back to there's Trump's incredible, especially on the mainstream media. I think Biden changed a lot of people's minds over the last 4 years in terms of Trump supporters. But what happens is if you look at some of these bad pollsters, they were running 33% approval ratings for Joe Biden. And she feels it never really. We're getting those the whole every day, day in and day out. We ever saw it at 27, but most of the time it was like 40 or 43. And that's what you'd expect for a country that 49% of those were from Paris. And so the fact is that everybody was running around cheering 2 or 3 years ago, when the man drops it 23% approval rating. Now they're revolted when they drop what do you think's going on there? But looking at internally into the polls, even the New York Times, they can tell some smoking. They've been missing action for months. I don't know if they can poll or why they haven't hit budget, but they have not been polling. And so they come out of the gates with this first big poll, 900 registered voters. Only 730 actually completed the entire survey. Really small. And if you look at the subsample, their independents are plus 17 Democrats, and they actually have it was 16 or 17% of the poll didn't even vote in the fall. And so it's a really small sample. So just not even looking at whether or not their thumb was on the scale, it's all crap and noise. But what happens is it drops right before the 100 days, along with everybody else, almost like they coordinated. Because I can tell you, ABC News, CBS, Fox News, Reuters, these numbers are big. This is negative numbers down there. So they waited right before the days. So as we are here, tell me the truth. You are the most accurate pollster we've ever had on. Where is Donald Trump's pollster? How's he tracking? He's tracking sort of in line with Barack Obama. Is this correct?
Yeah. Well, a couple caveats. We've got polling going all the way back to 2003 on approval rating daily. Only once, still doing it daily. And the fact is, if you stack up all the presidents compared to each other, one president stands out. And it's not Donald Trump, it's Joe Biden. So we've overlaid the charts and smoothed out the variations. And what you had in 2008 and 2009 was a very unique time. I think that there was a lot of relief that the great financial crisis was being addressed in some way. I hesitate to say fixed. And people were happy that everybody came together and elected the first black president. And so the first couple of months of Obama term 1, he had a phenomenally high approval rate. But if you strip those 6 months out, Donald Trump won, and what looks like the first couple of months of Donald Trump too, it really tracked very closely with how Obama polled. For all 8 years he was in office, really. He got a little bit of a bounce in the second administration, but they're neck and neck at 45% to 50% of the rated presidents, which is kind of what you'd expect for a relatively divided nation with information war going on 24/7 and basically gridlock Congress. Except Joe Biden, there you go, you put it up. He's that lighter blue line, and it's on the bottom. It's the low one. And this is, I'll tell you, this is not what real clear politics looks like. If you went there, you'd see that Joe Biden's approval rating is on average 4 or 5 points higher than Trump's. Not in ours. We have Joe Biden lower for most of the time. You can see early in Trump's first term, it got down to the high 30s as well. That's when they were doing all that fake Russian stuff. And then Biden's got really low also. It's the FJB and Afghanistan period. And Biden never really recovered, but Trump did, because the economy was picking up. People were super happy. I mentioned that we had a previous record of consecutive weeks of right direction above 42%. When that happened is Trump's first inauguration, the summer of 2018, and also people were really happy sort of the winter and spring of 2020 until the bioweapon was released on him.
That is a fascinating. Put that up. This is just fascinating.
Yeah, this is.
And how just dumps Joe Biden was. I was incredibly informed. He was the most popular president in history.
No, certainly not. He got, although he did get the highest turnout in recent recorded presidential history. Really, really strange.
It's just the rapture to see how we missed it. It's just a little religious thing. So
never mind that 28% of Americans admitted out of their own mouths that they committed at least one form of mail ballot fraud. But whatever.
Get through the first deportation. Okay, so then this is a very interesting trend.
I don't even think he's going to go below 45. Maybe for a little bit here and there. That's the thing. It's like, what are they going to come up with that is going to fundamentally, they have to undermine my trust in a significant portion of Trump supporter MAGA Republicans, or 75-80%, mostly MAGA. And so what are they going to come up with? It has to be, videos that they've been working on and holding for a decade, or maybe, or like, World War III, everybody's going to circle wagons. Maybe if we get like that Black Monday that they try to convince us was going to happen, the stock market goes down 20 to 30%. I don't even think that most Americans really care that much about the stock market. It's just the media gets built up into a frenzy. So maybe a consumer recession, maybe some kind of black swan economic event, maybe they'll finally get the golden BB hoax that's going to work, because none of this other stuff really has.
Well, maybe. All we do is check boxes. And there are people who are unpopular and very popular inside the administration. But it's never a revolt against Trump. And everyone has their own Trump voter and I'm so angry I'll only vote Democrats now. No way, it's not happening. And I just don't see the Democrat Party, and maybe this is something we can end on. I don't see the Democrat Party on the trajectory that they're earning anything, right? Like, we have to have like, this really sobering, Jesus moment, literally, and ditch all of the woke crap. And they're tripling down on things like AOC, to be the chief race force. It doesn't seem like they're going to do the mobilization towards the middle, like Bill Clinton model, that would be necessary to try and like peel off any MAGA voters. Maybe I'm out of time.
Well, no, I mean, this is key. And I do think I don't think they should be dismissed, but I do think they're in a tricky situation. I did some analysis on my site that did look like, or on my Twitter feed. Forget about approval rating and just look at the share of voters that Donald Trump was able to get to convince to come to the polls and support him. And Donald Trump's second term actually stacks up really well.
An Airbnb, I don't even know how you would do that. It's a vehicle. What's up, Dusty?
But it's much higher than his first term. So people saw the first term. I like that.
What's up, Sam?
One more of Trump. It was not the same way with Obama. He came in stronger than he went out, let's just say. And so people have to compare and take breath and look around and say, well, okay, you might not like Pam Bondi, but you might reject Sessions. And I do think that Twitter doesn't represent real world. I think it represents the front lines of an information war. And so there are people, probably rightly, like whipping folks into a froth over things that they would like to have happened by now. And I maybe am guilty of some of that as well, but I think it's because I understand the huge opportunity of this stuff being released and what it might do on people's opinions and maybe shift the country even more. But people have to chill, like
I'll be where I'm trying to go and then
good. A quarter of them she is. But among Republicans, it's 63% to only 18%, and only 8% have a very unfavorable impression. So Twitter, again, is not the real world. There's, the 100 million voters out there are chewing their nails about whether or not the Epstein list is going to get released. I think that's just, sort of the loudest folks.
So, because of what you said there, sort of is that this individual who has come up with, we didn't think we'd ever hear more accents than we heard from Kamala on the 2024. But lo and behold, I have a very short 15-second clip to play.
34 felony counts.
Yeah.
Of course he's lying and abusing and manipulating the stock market too.
Yeah. Bitch.
When he talks about rapists and
Bacon, maybe? I don't know.
How about
hey, what's good, Bat Mom and Jay Silly?
Mark? Do you think that she's gonna be the nominee?
I'm so fucking tired of her.
But again, we're talking about the really tough situation. I said this on their show. I think that the crisis they had was authenticity. And, the problem some in AOC by a couple of points and then Democrat primary. Some in AOC by a couple of points and then Democrat primary.
Go the full distance, right? Yeah. Okay.
What the fuck is this?
Very interesting. Mark, it's always...
Bro, the light just turned green and then it turned yellow immediately, like before I even stepped on the gas in fucking traffic and roads. How the fuck do I still not have full circles? I'm in the middle of a fucking city, for Christ's sake. I'm in a big ass city. For fuck Horizon. Fucking murder this phone company.
There you go, Mark. Fantastic. And
I just hit it last night.
Love not having full
And so while we will be live for big things like the President Trump's MAGA rally for the 100 days yesterday, this was a fantastic announcement. It's going to be a wild rally tomorrow, so we really hope you'll tune into our channel. We'll be live with that. We're going to be releasing a schedule. We're going to be doing our very best to be live during the show. Tomorrow we cannot because we will be traveling. It's the only way East Coast to West Coast. Commercial is just like blowing out your day with an 8 or 9 hour flight. It's just the only way to do it. It sucks. Here it is. And so we'll be live for the MAGA rally tomorrow instead. So we're going to do a show tomorrow for the MAGA rally. That will be in Michigan. So ladies and gentlemen, please lock in. That'll be 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. West Coast time. And then again, we'll be doing a lot of different events and having some really, we're really excited to be doing this CPAC panel with a number of Hollywood producers and so on. We'll be locked in, obviously, and still doing tons of content, so stay tuned.
Bro, are you fucking kidding me right now? Fucking wasp.
You gotta be out there, right? You gotta be out there. You gotta be out there in the world. You gotta be fighting. As much as I love our cozy little studio here. Speaking of fighting, our verse of the day. Psalms 34:19.
Watch out for the wasp.
The righteous person may have many troubles, but the Lord delivers him from them all. That's right. In fact, it is a guarantee that you're not going to get picked on by the universe. It's what Killer Klein calls a life tax. That's right. Yeah, okay. I like that. It's a life tax. It's a guarantee that you're going to have troubles in life. The scriptures are very clear about that. So don't get down. Don't get sad. You're certainly not the first person. Not the first guy with troubles. You won't be the last. It is a guarantee that we can do something good. The only thing we can actually do, buttress against it, to muscle through it, to keep moving forward, is to keep moving forward. Lord will deliver you from rock and roll here. Thank you for watching. It's your day. See you on the next question.
What do you think you're doing? This is it. Yeah, right there. Work like you're sweating.
Probably tomorrow before I go to work for a couple of hours. I just gotta finish a couple of things up, but I got a late start today, unfortunately. I was up all fucking night, so I slept in like a fucking baby. Alright, I will be right back. You gonna be a good girl, Valentina? Here, y'all can watch Valentina. There's Valentina, just hanging out right here in the middle. I don't know how to fucking position this. Fucking power button got shut off on my phone mount. I don't even know. I'm probably not even live anymore, am I? I put you all facing Valentina and I guess I shut my phone off. That's what I get for touching things. Well, the van's not revving today, so I don't know if that means that it was the gas cap. Sorry about that. I turned my phone screen off like an idiot, and I was trying to put my phone in the phone holder. Now I get to deal deal with this fucking traffic. Fucking non-stop people, dude. I root for Thanos. I will be right back and try this again.